The lilac-breasted roller, Coracias caudatus, is an African bird of the roller family, Coraciidae. It is widely distributed in southern and eastern Africa, and is a vagrant to the southern Arabian Peninsula. It prefers open woodland and savanna, and it is for the most part absent from treeless places. Usually found alone or in pairs. It perches at the tops of trees, poles or other high vantage points from where it can spot insects, amphibians and small birds moving about on the ground. Nesting takes place in a natural hole in a tree where a clutch of 2 to 4 eggs are laid, and incubated by both parents, who are extremely aggressive in defense of their nest, taking on raptors and other birds. During the breeding season, the male will rise to a fair height, 69 to 144 meters, descending in swoops and dives, while uttering harsh, discordant cries. The sexes are different in coloration, and juveniles lack the long tail streamers of adults. This species is unofficially considered the national bird of Kenya. Alternative names for the lilac-breasted roller include the fork-tailed roller, lilac-throated roller, also used for a subspecies of purple roller, and Moseliacotses roller. The lilac-breasted roller was formally described by the Swedish naturalist Carl Linnaeus in 1766 in the 12th edition of his Systema Naturae under the binomial name Coracias caudata. Linnaeus based his description on Le Rollier d'Angola that had been described and illustrated in 1760 by the French zoologist Mathurin Jacques Brisson. The specific epithet caudatus is Latin meaning tail. The lilac-breasted roller is one of 9 species in genus Coracias, a group native to the open woodlands of western Eurasia and Africa. 2 subspecies are recognized. C.C. Caudatus linnaeus, 1766. The lilac-breasted roller is found from central Kenya to northern South Africa, and westwards to the Atlantic coasts of Namibia and Angola. C.C. Lortie Shelley, 1885. The lilac-throated roller, or blue-breasted roller, was originally described as a separate species, and is found from Eritrea to western Somalia and northeastern Kenya. Though not parapatric, their breeding ranges do not meet. There is no evidence of behavioral or ecological differences that would support C. Lortie as a separate species. In the field, these robust, large-headed birds are often perched alone on a tree in a grassy clearing, and are almost unmistakable with their colorful plumage tones. The lilac throat of the nominate subspecies C.C. caudatus deepens into a darker lilac breast. The crown to mantle is olive, and the cheeks and ear covers a lilac rufous. In subspecies C.C. Lortie, however, the crown to mantle is greenish-blue instead of olive, and the breast azure. The throat is lilac, and some lilac-throated rollers have a lilac patch or rufous-brown tinges on the lower abdomen. Both subspecies have long, black outermost tail streamers that are absent in juveniles. Lilac-breasted rollers are not sexually dimorphic, though males may be slightly larger than females. Juveniles, immatures and adults have the largest alula feather dark blue, but the primary covers and rest of the alula azure. The proximal half of the remiges are also a brilliant azure, and the distal half black on the inner web, and dark purple-blue on the outer webs. Juveniles have the throat and breast rufous tawny with broad diffuse buffy white streaks with mauve margins on some feathers. Immatures have the breast buffy with occasional lilac feathers and diffuse pale streaking. The average mass is 104 grams, and length ranges from 36 to 38 centimeters, inclusive of the tail streamer of 8 to 9 centimeters. These acrobatic flyers have an average wingspan range of 50 to 58 centimeters. Unique to rollers, family Coraciidae, are syndactyl feet, in which the second and third digits are fused. They may be confused with the sleeker Abyssinian roller in the Turkana Basin of Kenya, which however has dark blue upper tail covers. an azure breast and distinctly spatulate tail streamers. Besides spatulate tail streamers, pinkish-breasted racket-tailed rollers have darker greater regime covers and darker blue primary covers. The call of a lilac-breasted roller is a harsh, sawing rack 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 that is given during flight. Usually, the bird will perch to sing. Lilac-breasted rollers are found throughout eastern and southern Africa, and occurs locally at sea level, and up to 2,000 meters above sea level or over. Their range extends from the Red Sea coast of Eritrea through East Africa, including Zanzibar, to southern Africa, where they occur commonly in Namibia, excluding the Namib Desert, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and northeastern South Africa. The nominate subspecies CC. caudatus is non-migratory, but a measure of post-breeding dispersal occurs into Miombo woodland or sandy areas, before they return to the breeding areas at the start of the rains. Its counterpart, the lilac-throated roller, C. lortii, migrates from northeast Kenya to northwest Somalia to breed from late April to mid-September. The latter subspecies is also a vagrant to Eritrea, Oman and Yemen. Lilac-breasted rollers are most abundant in Kenya, though the species is less abundant than in former times. Both subspecies live in open savanna habitats with scattered trees and shrubs. As the birds require higher perches for feeding and nesting, less often they frequent riverine vegetation and light forest, and may enter subdesert steppe or open grassland where any elevated perches may be used. In protected areas, lilac-breasted rollers are among the bird species that frequent the verges of roads, especially during fires, when the small animals and insects that emerge from cover are easily predated. However, lilac-breasted rollers avoid other human-influenced areas and are not found in urban or rural areas unless they are abandoned. Outside of protected areas such as national parks, lilac-breasted rollers may infrequently be seen when farmers burn land for agricultural use. Such brush fires stir up insects and other invertebrates, and birds can be seen swooping in for easy prey. Both subspecies are probably monogamous and nest solitary. 9. The sexes are not readily distinguishable, and their displays have not been definitively linked to either male or female. Pairs are protective of their nest, and one of the pair will fly in a rolling pattern as a territorial display against intruders or to detract nest predators. During courtship, a lilac-breasted roller will fly upwards and then tip forward with the wings closed, before flapping to gain speed towards the ground. 3. While leveling out at highest speed, the bird will roll to the left and right a few times, uttering a harsh, raucous,